All right, dude. So the other day, I had this realization that it has been close to a year since I have, I shaved my head. Mm-hmm. And it like came up my time hop or something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, but man, I can't believe it's been a year. I was like saying it out loud. I can't believe it's been a year. And my boss snaps around and she's like, your hair's only grown that much in a year? I was like, oh, my sweet summer child. No, Megan shaves my head like once a week. She's like, oh, I thought, man, I didn't realize. It was bad. It was really funny, though.
It's like, you're how old and you don't understand how hair follicles work?
Yeah, and like as a woman, like she's got some really long hair. Like, you know how hair works. It's not like your first day having hair.
Oh, my God. I don't understand how that's like a question that you would talk to a 5-year-old and they'd be like, wait, my hair grows? It's growing now? But a grown woman, that's
shocking. It was something.
That is definitely yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny though. She's like, that's all your hair has grown? I had a good chuckle at that.
Oh, man. So, welcome to the podcast episode.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, what are we at? 12?
1-2, episode 12.
Oh, I missed the joke there. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Episode 12. It's a great time to be at episode 12. I don't know why, but I'm really happy that we're here. Episode 11.
It's 8:17. It's a great time.
Oh, great time. Perfect time for episode 12. So, if you've listened to the podcast or watching the videos, first, like always, we want to say thank you. We appreciate it very, very much. We have so much fun doing these, and it's really all we have going for us.
You have fun. I don't know about me.
If you enjoy it, thank you.
Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button, the comment button, the share button. Yeah, just click all the buttons until things happen.
All the buttons that seem positive. If it seems like a negative button to hit, don't do that. Just close it and leave. But if you really like it, hit that button.
I mean, just click all the buttons till something happens. I mean, the worst that you can do is just break it.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is brought to you, sponsored by us. We do it all ourselves, so 100% funded by ourselves. And
our wives, let's be real.
Yeah, so, thank you to them as well. But yeah, so...
Today's sponsor.
So what I wanted to do first, I wanted to, if you remember episode 11... we talked about...
It's the one that comes before this one,
that's
right?
One before 12.
One comes before
and you
1.
add 1, that's 12. Math is very...
Carry the 1, add the 4. Yeah. Divide by 3.
15. That's 5. Oh, whatever.
Math. You weren't very good at it, so...
No, I was not. Thanks to you, I passed all my math classes. But anyway, I wanted to... Speaking of jobs, we talked in episode 11 about... previous jobs very briefly, and I said I can name all my jobs right now, and we made a joke that it would be like a 16-page PDF. I spent a few minutes today coming up with all of my jobs.
Hefty, dude. Hefty. How is it that long? That's what she said.
Dude, and I think I've got them all. So we're gonna go through rapid fire.
You pop off and I'll finish strong.
Ready? Here we go. We're rapid fire these in no specific, actually in a very specific order.
I feel like they should be in order.
Yeah. So McDonald's, Lone Star Steakhouse, Pizza Hut, Grass Guardian Lawn Care. I worked there for 2 months and just quit.
You don't seem like the manual labor type.
Oh, absolutely not. Dietrich Metal Framing.
What the fuck?
I worked there for 2 months. Maybe. Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember that one.
Yeah, I worked there for a total of, 4 years. Noteworthy Music. I was a guitar instructor. Kent Trumble Fitness Center.
Yep.
Office Max. Penn Station, I worked at for 1 week. I was very poorly trained and awful at making sandwiches. Canton Music. GE Capital, now Synchrony Bank. Sweetwater, total of 7 years. AT&T in a retail store. Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Oh, that's right. You did work at a credit union for like 2 months.
I was a loan officer for like 2 months, and then I went back to Sweetwater. When I moved to North Carolina, I worked at Spectrum for maybe a week and a half.
Oh yeah.
And then I flew back to shoot a wedding in Indiana, and then I got a job offer, and then I quit, and I just worked at Best Buy, and then Yelp, and then back with the good old AT&T.
Nice.
So yeah, that is a hefty list, and I'm pretty sure I got all of them. So,
are there any jobs on that list that you would, if ever, go back to?
Dude,
for the right amount of money, obviously.
Half of them I don't think are even businesses anymore. But
is that your fault? Did you make them go out of business?
yeah, I'm the reason Toys R Us is gone. I'm very sorry. Yeah. No, but
hey man, I saw the customers that came into that place.
I don't think that I would go back to any of those jobs. I did enjoy early, so like Toys R Us. I enjoyed early Toys R Us time, like when I was in R Zone and then doing electronics and video games.
Was that the gaming section?
Yeah, like that was a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends. That was great. Like early college days, Jason. That was a lot of fun. Best Buy, the early days, like when I first started, we had a lot of fun.
We had a blast.
We made like a ton of friends. We were always ordering food, like DoorDash and stuff. And
it was so expensive.
Oh yeah, we definitely didn't make enough money for that.
No.
But it was a lot of fun, and I got to work with you. And
aww.
Yeah, it was great. So if I could go back to specific times, I would like that again, but I wouldn't go back to any of the other jobs though.
All right. Well, I'll keep mine short and sweet.
Is that because it is short and sweet?
Good things come in small packages. Anyhow, I worked at a pizza place for all but like 4 days. And they were like, hey man, you gotta go. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, turns out that 15-and-a-half-year-olds don't know how to properly handle food. Because you just receive little, like you said, Penn Station, little to no training. So I went outside and I was doing the sign spinning. And then
you were a sign spinner?
Well, like for part of the day, I was a sign spinner, and then it was like, "Hey, come on in and make some pizzas." And I just like went in and I started making pizzas, and then washed my hands, and I started touching food, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't do that." But I do have a really funny joke about that, and I told this to one of my friends, and for the longest time, he didn't get the joke, and he thought it was real. And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I got fired from the pizza place. I got caught sticking my finger in the pepperoni slicer. She got fired too." And he was like, "Dude, what do you mean this girl got fired?" And I was like, "Brother, it's a joke." And he's like, "Yeah, but you said you stuck your finger in the pepperoni slicer. Like, how'd you not cut your finger?" And I was like, "Listen to the words that I am saying. I stuck my fingers in the pepperoni slicer, and she got fired too." Years later, he finally was like, "I get it."
It's not like the movie Teeth, where like.
Yeah, vagina dentata. Okay, so after I got fired from the pizza place after like 4 days, I went on to work at a t-shirt screen printing place. I was there for like a bunch of years. Home Depot for a couple years. Best Buy the first time. I worked for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers for 2 seasons.
I remember that.
I did some weird industrial sales job.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was so strange. Then I went to one of those loan shark companies, and I was the guy who called to try and collect on past due debts. Hated that. Absolutely. Dude, hounding people day after day. Hey, you going to pay your loan? Hey, you going to pay your loan? Hey, you going to pay your loan? Fuck that.
I'm going to touch back on that after you're done with your list.
Yep. Then I worked with Megan at BioWell, where we sold old delusional people fake medicine. I still don't understand how it was legal, but like, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to get in trouble, but like, that shit was all placebos, and these people ate that shit up. Then I worked at Pepsi for a couple months, and that was bad. The credit union in Ohio, and then we moved to North Carolina. Worked at the First Bank, and then I went back to Best Buy a second time, which is where we worked together. I also worked at Yelp. We both fucking hated that.
Wild job, man.
And now I'm back at the bank. So my list is significantly shorter than yours, mostly because each job that I had, I stayed at for multiple years.
I mean, like, I was at Pizza Hut for a year.
Yeah.
I was at Toys R Us.
I was at the screen printing place for 3 years, Home Depot for 4, Best Buy for 3, Scrappers for 2, the industrial place for 1. I was at the credit union for a year, the bank for 2 years, Best Buy for 4 years, and I've been at the bank for a year now. So like I try to keep jobs, but there was a very brief streak where I was job hopping a little bit. Filing multiple W-2s in a year, fuck that.
Painful, dude.
So stupid. What were you going to say about...
collecting. So when I worked at
debts.
GE Capital, which is now Synchrony, I started in the department that did collections for JCPenney's.
Oh. Okay, because that was like their store card. Gotcha.
Dude, those cards are such a scam. It's unbelievable.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so like, for example, you go to JCPenney. I mean, this is back then, at least.
I don't go to JCPenney
I don't know if things have changed, so this is all just experience from, 2012 when I worked there. So...
Decade ago.
2013.
Decade ago.
Yeah, so when I worked there, we had all these people who would call in and be like, yeah, I got this charge. I can't remember what the name of it was called. It was like an insurance. It was like $8 a month. So people would...
Like if you died, it would get paid.
Yeah, it was like some kind of thing that like they added like at point of sale and they didn't like tell anybody or something.
Fucking fine print
So
bullshit.
people were like, I paid off my card months ago.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me? Oh, well, you have a bill for like $300 and some for this insurance. And they're like, I never accepted that. I'm like, so then eventually you have to get in the routine of saying like, well, you can call this number and you can dispute the charge. Otherwise, we're going to keep calling you 7 times a day.
What? How is that even legal?
7 times a day. It's an automatic dialer. It knows how many times they've called them. You can call 7 times per day.
Well, maybe recently. If wasn't there like an FTC
I don't know if that's changed
or something
10 years ago.
Changed it to
10 years ago.
You can't. I don't think you're like legally allowed to call someone that often. It's like harassment. Probably because of Synchrony
people like that. People like me 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's what I call a because somebody rule.
Because somebody
because somebody did it.
Yeah, but like the crazy thing about working there is I'd have like wild conversations where I would call somebody. It's automatic. So like you hit that you are done with a call and it right into the next one.
So wild.
So somebody's on the phone and they're like, why the hell are you calling me on Sunday? This is the Lord's Day. And then they start swearing at you and it's like, man, that's not very Christian of you.
Yeah.
Like verbatim said it to a customer. Like, that's not very Christian of you. And then she just starts going off again because I'm insulting her on the phone. And then my manager at one point told me, you can say this. If you can shop and spend money on a Sunday, I can call you to collect on a Sunday.
Fair.
And I was like, I'm going to use that. So I did. And man, did people not like that.
I bet.
I can't tell you how many times I was hung up on, like
more or less hang-ups than at Yelp.
More.
80 dials a day?
Yeah, because you're trying to, because like you call these people and you can see how much they owe, and it's like you owe $4,000 to JCPenney. Dog, what did you buy at JCPenney for $4,000?
A really nice Gucci suit.
Yeah, like I don't understand, but like it was really cool when like you call somebody and they're like, yeah, can you please help me with this? And it's like there was a legitimate like fraud case or something. So like once a week you'd have a good call with someone where you got off the phone like I made someone's day better.
That's me at the bank.
Yeah, but after that it's like,
yep.
This is awful. This is why they're paying me $10.50 an hour.
Oh yeah, trash wages.
But 10 years ago, $10.50 an hour was like,
that was pretty beefy.
It was just a little bit better than everywhere else. But man, yeah. And then working at Yelp, yeah, that was.
Isn't it crazy that minimum wage is still $7.25? And it was $7.25
Dude,
10 years ago.
They raised eggs to $6 like
a few months ago. You mean to tell me that 1 hour's worth of work it only buys me 1 dozen eggs? That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can raise the cost of gas on like a whim, but they can't raise wages without like signing a ton of bills and like
I don't know
like forcing people to like pay them
works.
More. That's wild to me. That's because it's all about profit.
Well, yeah, the concept of minimum wage implies that they would pay you less if they could, but they're legally not allowed to. Just let that sink in for a second. That's some bullshit.
That really is. That really is not ideal. Mm-hmm. No.
Well, we're not going to get trapped in our soapbox about how the
Retail.
government works or retail again. What did you said you had a story that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I do. So I think we touched on it. I think it was during the the sex doll episode where we talked about like AI a little bit and like saying the word couch, and then I got a whole bunch of ads for couches.
Yep.
So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, I think it was a customer, and they were like, yeah, like this whole AI thing, is like, it's not good. I'm like, well, what's not good about it? I was like, just out of my own curiosity, not trying to like,
right, not trying to argue,
just curious because everyone has different opinions,
right?
And it was something along the lines of like, they're always listening and they're always putting ads in your face and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that's really convenient, honestly. Like if
From time to time,
yeah. So like, if I'm looking for sunglasses, I do a search for sunglasses, right? I'm going to start getting ads for sunglasses on Instagram and Facebook immediately, like
almost,
same day probably. Mm-hmm. And now I'm seeing all of these sunglasses that I didn't see before. This is convenient to me because now I have more options, and I don't have to look for it. Same thing when I was looking at these like studio lights. Same thing when I was looking at GoPros. Like, and I was like, "Where's the best price for GoPros?"
Dude,
like,
so you remember you just made a purchase recently, a very, very large purchase, 2 wheels.
Yeah, I bought an e-bike from Electric, and it's sick.
Yeah, so you commented on one Facebook post, and I responded to that Facebook post.
And we've both gotten.
I already bought my bikes last year, but
yeah,
just from commenting on that post, the next 7 ads I got on Facebook were all of different brands,
different e-bike companies,
different e-bikes, and it's like, first off, I made one comment. It could have been like, I absolutely hate e-bikes. These are the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen, and I never want to ride one. And Facebook's like, you said e-bikes? Here, let me show you.
He's talking about e-bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I purchased one, which, really funny story, very quickly. They had e-bikes for a year, Jim and Megan did, and we went on one bike ride together. I am very out of shape.
I let him ride my bike for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very out of shape. I rode his bike for 2 minutes. I'm like, I need one of these. So
literally were at the park, and he was like, add to cart, buy.
Add to cart, buy. And from that same day, same thing happened. I got ads from like 5 different e-bike companies on Facebook with like
so bad.
different models and different comparisons. And I'm like, damn, I should have looked around. This is really, thank you, Facebook. But I'm happy with what I got.
Yeah. They'll always show you stuff after you buy something. You're like, well, I wish I'd have seen that before, but it's okay.
So like there's an upside to AI, things like this, and algorithms, things like this, where it's like
when it's used correctly.
When it's used, correctly, as in like a business is trying to find a consumer to sell a product to, and it works.
Okay, let me phrase it appropriately.
Yeah,
how about that?
But that's totally cool, because if I'm looking for something, why not see a whole bunch of options of those things that I'm looking for? Like that, to me, that's convenient. Like I don't care. I don't feel like that's like an intrusion to my web searching history, anything like that, which a lot of people do. I think that's one of the big things. They're like, well, if I search e-bikes, I don't want you knowing that I searched e-bikes.
Yeah.
It's like, Doug, I don't care. I'm 34 years old. I watch wrestling and I ride an e-bike. So all of my ads are Prime. And I drink Prime. All of my ads are very relevant to me. So like, I don't care.
Middle-aged white dudes.
Like, thank you for making Facebook and Instagram ads all about me. I appreciate it. Main character syndrome. But like, I understand the downside of it. Like 20 years from now, we're going to have AI robots and they're going to be, taking over the world.
Yep.
With the aliens. They're going to be, colluding to take over the US or something.
The immediate downside to AI right now is like, I'm sure you've heard of deepfakes. You know what those are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, it's gotten to the point where it's like not good. Where it's like the best one, the air quote best one that people have seen was the one where it was Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. and they were like deep faked air quotes to like redo the Back to the Future trailer.
Oh yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god, this would be the greatest thing ever!" And then of course the internet, being the internet, immediately goes and makes deep fakes of like Taylor Swift doing things that that Taylor Swift wouldn't do on camera, right? And you're like, wait, we have such good potential, and then we go and ruin it.
There's always somebody that's going to abuse the power.
Well, I mean, Rule 34, if it exists, there is a porn for it. That's just you've never heard of Rule 34?
No.
Okay, so the internet has rules. I don't know them all, but I know Rule 34.
Specifically, Rule 34.
Not Atlantically, Pacifically.
Specifically.
Rule 34, if it exists, there is a porn for it. I want to make that up, but that's just
the thing.
That's just how the internet works. And I'm sure that now that I've said it, we're going to end up.
Dude, I'm not surprised, honestly.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, there's always there's the good and bad and everything. And everyone wants to be good, and then there's the bad apples that just ruin it for everybody.
Like,
and that's why we can't have nice things.
They're like, what if I do this?
What if I did the thing that I shouldn't do?
Yeah, they think if they could, but they don't think if they should.
Okay,
yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Thank you for getting that.
What was it? Nature Finds a Way. I'm Jeff Goldblum.
Dude, have you seen the guy who does all the crazy impressions? Who does like Jeff Goldblum and like Ryan Reynolds and
probably know him, see him. I don't know him by name.
He's so God. I'll show you later. If anyone's listening or watching and knows the guy I'm talking about, he does.
We'll drop a link in the show notes.
He does like Pacifically. He does really well. Like Ryan Reynolds. He does.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds is just
what's
like...
the guy who does like Puss in Boots? Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he does him. He does The Rock, Will Smith. He does like these and Mark Wahlberg. He does like 8 or 9 of them like really, really well, and they're super entertaining.
Interesting.
But I'll find it. I'll show you.
Gotcha.
It's real good.
So while you had your topic of AI, I have this crazy idea that... I don't know if I told you, I had this crazy idea when I was leaving the Blink-182 concert, and I have a couple of points to make about the Blink-182 show. First, I feel like the metaverse, they completely missed the mark. And here's my $1 million idea. And if anybody hears this at Meta, contact me, because I will copyright this shit, and it's going on video record. I said it. So... everybody at concerts, right, nowadays, everybody has their phone out, right? Everybody's got their phone, and they're taking video, and they're recording, and yada, yada. There's got to be some sort of technology, or at least we need to come up with the technology, where it can collect and aggregate all of that video, right? And kind of make like a 360. Did I tell you this already?
No, but as you're saying it, I'm like, I'm
Dude,
already thinking
it makes total sense.
It does.
Right? So you take all those videos and, right, some sort of supercomputer can, plot them all together, and it can generate whatever shape of the video that you have created, right? And then just imagine you pop on your Oculus headset, and you could then go to the thing, right? I'm not paying $10,000 to go see Taylor Swift live, but for $200 or $100, right? Whatever the imaginary arbitrary price that they set, I might want to go see Taylor Swift live. From the comfort of my own home.
In AR, yeah.
Yeah, right? Pop on my little Oculus, I pop on my noise-canceling headphones, get me a little drink, right? And I get my controller so I can kind of move around the zone. And, right, I'm there front row center for Taylor Swift. Insert whatever concert you want to be, right? Then let's think bigger picture, right? Then we can go to sporting events. I'd like to go to the Super Bowl, or I'd like to go to see the Super Bowl halftime, but I can't afford Super Bowl ticket prices.
Yeah.
I don't mean, I also don't give a shit about football, but it'd be cool to go to an event and you could just pop on the headset and go. The metaverse
that would be something.
Fell on its face.
That
but
is,
this is their opportunity.
That's a really good idea.
Dude, right? It was such a cool idea when I was leaving the show.
No,
there was
that's
just
a great
so
idea.
many people there. Next to the homeless dude covered in shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected.
Had his hands in his pants, just jerking off on the side of the road.
Just playing pocket hockey.
We could just cut that part out of the AR experience. I don't want to like turn around and there's just some dude jerking off in the corner.
You're like, I downloaded the wrong AR. It's just a dude jacking off. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, this isn't the wrong. This is the wrong video. There was someone, speaking of concerts, where I'm getting off topic, but there was someone who made a comment on Facebook about when we were talking about people talking during movies or TV shows, and they had said people who yell during concerts. So I have a question, and then I have a follow-up. Do you sing along to the songs when you're at a concert, or are you a silent observer?
It depends. It depends. So, like, I'm a big Coheed and Cambria fan, you know? So, like, yeah.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, so I'm a big Coheed and Cambria
you can't
fan.
see it on.
Yeah, there's a big poster. So there's a lot of their songs where they have, like, big, like, heavy chanting parts or, like, super catchy choruses. And I'll do that.
Yeah.
But, like, for the most part, I'm there to listen and watch.
Observe
like,
and absorb.
Because, like, if I ever do like what we talked about and have a video up and I'm filming it, I don't want me singing in that video. Because it's like, who's that person? Like, if I'm showing someone, they're like, who's that person singing really bad? It's me. Hi.
Hi.
I'm the terrible one. It's me. Yeah,
It's me.
So,
Hi.
yeah.
Don't
So-
DMCA us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say it really depends on who we're seeing. I might like softly like sing or hum it, but like, no, I don't.
Gotcha.
I don't yell. Words.
I saw that person's comment. Hopefully they see this and they're like, oh, that was me. I saw that person's comment and I thought back to my younger days when I used to be front row in the pit, going hard in the paint. And I think I'm that guy who would sing obnoxiously loud at shows. But like you said, I'm there to be in the moment. And to me, that moment was just absolutely screaming my lungs out to the songs. And that was a good time to me. Now I'm older. I ain't got that kind of energy. I got nosebleed seats.
Stand in the back.
Boy, I
Sit.
got seats.
Sit. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because we went to the Silverstein concert, and that was, 2 hours plus that we were standing?
It was
and
beefy.
my legs were screaming.
Yeah,
So,
ankles, knees, head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
yeah,
The whole thing was
everything
just...
hurt.
Yeah, everything
so
hurt. So,
I'm way too old for that. But yeah, I feel you.
yeah, Megan and I are seat people now, and we don't sing because we're, so far away.
So
that,
far.
like, you can barely hear the music. You will definitely hear my terrible singing. Where I was going with this is, dude, speaking of the Blink-182 show, the dude who was sitting behind me, I don't understand what was possessing this man. But, right, like, answer this question. Does Blink-182 have screaming in any of their songs?
That's a no.
Right, hard no. So tell me why, at the end of every Blink-182 song, this douche canoe was like, bleh! Now,
He just wanted to add a blast.
don't get me wrong. I am here for a good blah. I respect it. More blah, less meh. And, right, remember we had the t-shirt idea?
Dude, I'm here for
So,
the
right,
blah.
like, I mean, we're listening to fucking Miss You. Where are you? Right? And then he's in the background. Black. You're like, shut the fuck up. Like, you are ruining this. There are so many people here who are here for this moment, and your dumbass is going, black. Shut the fuck up.
He's got his Oculus on. He's at a metal concert
Yeah.
right now.
And he's sitting at Blink-182 attending a metal concert on his Oculus. I didn't say anything because, like, I'm non-confrontational. And I looked at Megan and she looked at me and, like, we both were like, this motherfucker. But, dude, like, every song, it would end and he'd be like, black. Shut up. You're ruining this for me. Fucking what'd you say? Main character syndrome. Shut the fuck
Character
up.
syndrome.
I'm not trying to make this about me, but, like, you are ruining it for me. Fuck off.
Dude, I love that. That's too.
Oh,
That's
so-
I would have found it funny for probably the first half of the concert.
It was like the first time it was funny and I like chuckled and then he did it again. I was like,
So he's like a 2-year-old. You gave him the laugh.
I didn't chuckle like out loud. I definitely was not trying to encourage that
He
behavior.
saw the.
But the first time he did, I was like, and like that's it.
That was
and then
a nod
the
of
second time
approval?
I like looked at Megan and then again, and again.
He's like, how many songs in this set? Like 15. I got a lot of blaz in me.
Dude,
Don't
I was
you
so
worry.
pissed at that dude. I hope you're listening to this, and I hope you know who you are. Fuck you.
Hope you have the day you deserve.
No, have a shitty day, because fuck you.
Have a shit one.
All right.
Oh, man.
So that was all I had, and just to follow up on your AI comment.
Good old AI comment.
The concert AR thing,
Dude,
man,
I think it's a cool idea. But see, I think the downside would be then you'd have people who are like, I'm not going to pay $500 for front row seats, so I'm just going to pay $100 and watch it from home.
Right.
And then you'd have less and less people, so you'd have more and more like cameras filming this. You'd have companies come in and try and like capitalize and start filming it specifically for augmented reality.
So,
And then you'd have a
Yeah.
performer performing in front of like 150 cameras and like 30 people in the back.
now I thought of that. You are absolutely right. If people want to stop showing up, then yeah, it becomes a detriment. But to counteract that, right, like the company, let's just say it's Facebook or Meta or whatever, they get those little goofy ass 360 cameras and you just place them just kind of like in pivotal points, but not necessarily like big chunky cameras that are like in the way, but like they're there and they still capture everything so that they can then just take that data and sort of mold it
Right.
into a thing. So, I mean, competition breeds, lower prices in a free market. Is that how that works? I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Competition is good for everybody, but it would allow them to kind of control the narrative and not, if augmented reality company number one shows up with giant boxy cameras that are in the way, no one's going to go to their event because you're fucking it up. But right, like if the company is able to figure out how to make them small little cameras placed specifically around to not be obtrusive, maybe people will still want to go. But yeah,
see,
you got to
like-
find that balance in terms of price where like it's not worth it to go in person. But
Right.
yeah,
Because like for me, dude, if you tell me I can see such and such band, but I could sit on my couch and like have my own
Be front
snacks
row?
and be like front row or like front row adjacent, I'm in. Like I don't like. But also to be fair, I don't really think I see any acts that are more than normally like $40 a ticket.
yeah, right.
So like I'm
yeah,
not
the bands we see are
I'm
not
not the audience. Like, I'm not going to pay, $1,000 or $2,000 to be front row for like Ed Sheeran or anybody. Like, that's not me.
Nope.
Like, mad respect for Ed Sheeran, but I'm not going to be that person who wants to pay thousands of dollars to be front row. If
Yeah.
you were like, hey, you could be front row at WrestleMania for $500,
Maybe.
like, you might have me.
Maybe.
You might have me because that's a nosebleed seat any other time.
Yeah, right. I draw the line at ticket, like if the ticket itself is less than $75. I understand the fees make it, but like if the ticket itself is less than 75, that's usually my like personal spending limit.
Yeah.
Beyond that, like you better be the best, the absolute best band that I am currently infatuated with, and I would consider maybe paying more.
I just don't know who I would ever spend that
Yeah.
much money to see. Like,
Yep.
when I go see like Coheed or something, it's usually like $30-$40.
Yeah, it's $50 plus fees.
Yeah, Delta Sleep was like $20.
Yep.
We
We saw Sleep Token for 30 plus tax.
Yeah, 30 plus tax for Sleep Token. Yeah, suck on that, everybody else who's a fan now.
Yeah, right?
Since the new album. Yeah, saw them well before that for $30.
And we were probably this far
Yeah,
from
we were
them.
literally 12 feet maybe from the stage.
We were
if
like
that.
third row.
Yeah,
It
we were
was
literally
sick.
third row, and it was like 250 people max in that place.
It was pretty
It was
cool.
so good. I'm glad that it got canceled at House of Blues
Yeah.
for that show. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, so I think it's a phenomenal idea. Maybe more so for like Super Bowl or WrestleMania
Yeah.
or like sporting games in general.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that, like the whole market for like people like my dad when he was living in Myrtle Beach, maybe wanted to like go to a Steelers game or something.
Mm-hmm. Right,
That's
where there's
not
nowhere
That's not
close.
possible. Like
Yeah.
you're not driving 12 hours to Pittsburgh to watch a Steelers game when you could put on some augmented reality headset and you could pay $75 maybe,
Yeah, and just be wherever you want.
like somewhere in like a really good seat, and you could watch it, listen, have like the 3D like spatial audio
Oh,
or
that'd be so
something.
cool. Yeah.
Dude, I would do that. Like,
I'm not a sports fan, but I'd do it too.
yeah, I would watch games if it meant like I can do it from home and have
Yeah.
like an immersive experience. I think that's a great idea.
I'm sure it will exist eventually in the future. Maybe I will be able to cash in on that, but who knows?
They're gonna cite this podcast episode,
Hey, that's fine. ALTIER 3.
and it's
Make sure you spell
Sad
it right.
Boys with the
OIS.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, make sure you spell it right on the check. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea though. It's a good one.
$82 plus fees was the Blink-182 tickets, and even then, my heart hurt. Like, I know it was above my $75 limit, but $7 above my limit was okay. It was like 82 plus fees and tax. Came out to like $260 after the fucking hidden fees. I don't know how that's legal. I just don't understand how it's legal.
Fee fi fo fum fee.
Yeah, dude. Water fee. Fucking convenient. It's not very convenient for you to charge me a fee. That's not very convenient.
Dude, so same night that you were seeing Blink, I was at WWE SmackDown.
Oh, that's
on a
right.
Friday night SmackDown in Raleigh.
You were in Raleigh.
Yeah, and like we had bougie seats. We were like on the aisle, like 8 seats in from the aisle. They walked down. Mm-hmm. So we paid, I think it was like $150 per ticket.
That's too rich for my blood.
But I've never been to like a
Yeah.
live event, and especially not in a seat like that. That was super cool. Like, love that. Wouldn't do it again though, because anytime someone stood up, I had to stand up too, and I know nobody behind me is able to see.
Oh, hell no.
So like, I'd want to sit up in the stands and be like, eye level with the ring. That would probably be more ideal. But yeah, so like we paid that much money for the tickets, and then parking was like $35. Can you imagine how much money they just raked in?
Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy that parking spots get paid more than people do. Think of that, right? You paid $35 to park there for what? Couple hours? 2 hours?
2.5 hours.
Okay. And how much does it cost someone to go to work for 2 hours? $7.25 an hour. That's some bullshit.
So they had maybe what? 10, 15 parking attendants, right? And there's thousands of people. They said it was the most like attendance at a WWE event in Raleigh ever. Like that place was filled.
Where was it?
PNC Arena.
PNC Arena.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think that's the one where Megan and I saw Machine Gun Kelly and Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, it was a massive place.
That place
was like
huge.
$35 per vehicle. Like, holy shit, Billy.
Oh, yeah, it's insane.
That is wild.
It's crazy.
I just want someone to explain to me what that is. Like, why is it so expensive? It's like I know that's not how you're paying all of your employees, right?
It could be, if you think about it, right? You pay the ticket price. Part of that goes Ticketmaster, Live Nation, whoever. Then the WWE gets whatever's left over, right?
PNC Arena's got to get something,
right?
They got to get paid for the facility, like for like hosting the event or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like so, they're like I don't know. It just seems like I know everything's about profit anymore.
Oh, wow,
so like it's just wild to me. They're paying like $35 per vehicle, and it's like, oh my god, is that
right. Extrapolate that over the 4,000 cars that were parked there. It's insane, right?
Absolutely insane.
Do be wild.
It do be do.
On today's episode segment of How Not to Be a Dick.
That's my favorite time of the week.
Can we just like stop abducting children?
Oh yeah, that's actually that one
relevant.
Seems really self-explanatory too.
I mean, this isn't going to be a long one, but like I had it written on my notes that one day there was like 2 different Amber Alerts that went out for 2 different children in 2 different cars that were getting abducted. Like, what the fuck is going on outside?
Like, how do you evolve from like stealing candy bars at a gas station to just
abducting
taking
children?
A whole ass person? Like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah, like what? I mean, I can't even begin to justify like what the thought process is or the mental gymnastics that you have to go through to be like, I'm a good person, I follow the rules. Or I could just straight up abduct a child from their family and sell them to someone. Like, and someone goes, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. The fuck is wrong with you?
How did that scale lean that far to one side and we're like, yeah, it's a good idea?
Right, like, I'm a good person, I follow all the rules, and I don't do anything wrong. I took a candy bar. Oh, I didn't pay for the parking meter. Like, right, like, illegal things. I'm air quoting illegal. Like, they're frowned upon, semantics. And then, but to cross over from, like, I'm not doing bad things to, I'm going to steal a child. What?
Dude, stealing Snickers from the gas station is a gateway drug to stealing people.
Abducting
apparently.
humans. That's insane. Have you
Yeah.
ever stolen anything? Liar. Never stole a candy bar?
No.
I stole a tech deck from Kohl's once. Do you remember tech decks?
I sure do.
I'm going to out myself here. I stole a tech deck from Kohl's once.
I cannot remember ever stealing.
I was like
anything.
10. I was like 12. And I took the tech deck out of the little package. It was like a little dude.
You shoplifted that?
And I put it in my brother's hoodie pocket.
Not only did you steal it, you framed him?
Yeah. But like they were 2. No one's going to question a 2-year-old with a toy in his hand. See, I'm smart. I would never steal a child, though. That's just utter...
Dude, if you're planning that elaborately when you're 12 to steal a tech deck...
Hey, what are you, like... You hold on. What are you, Minority Reporting me? Like, is that movie with Tom Cruise? When they, like, come back in the future or from the future to, like, arrest you from a crime you're about to commit in the future?
Oh, maybe. I don't
You ever seen that movie?
No.
Wild concept, right? So Tom Cruise works at
yeah.
a police... I'm going to spoil this. Actually, no, I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know how it ends. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Minority Report. Tom Cruise works at a police agency in the future. And when they receive their mission, whatever, they basically go back in time to stop you from committing the crime in the future. So, like, they stop you from murdering someone or, like...
How do they stop you? They just, like...
Well, they, like... Because they're from the future, they know where it happens. So they, like, go back in time.
Oh, and just prevent it at that moment.
Yeah.
They don't just, like, catch you one day at work and be like, hey, man, I know tomorrow's going to be a really bad day for you, and you think about, like, just abducting a child. Don't do it. I promise there's more to life.
Yeah, no. They, like, stop you before you do it.
Like, that would be that'd be a very different movie. Like, oh, the people who just go out and, like, you know, what do they call it now? It's like, I can't even think of the name.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what you're trying to say either.
So, like, so you're not like a police officer, but you're like a community, like a...
You mean like a neighborhood
public
watch?
service where they go around and like talk to people instead of where it's like non-violent crimes where they send somebody out to talk to you instead of like
Like a
police
Jehovah's
officer.
They just show up at your door and they're like, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
No, that would be such a different movie. Instead of like going back and like putting a trap in place to stop these criminals, they try to like correct them and like set them on a better life path instead.
Yeah, that wouldn't sell as much as like car chases and explosions and Tom Cruise doing all of his own stunts.
That's going to get like a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. I mean, they're not even going to make that movie. But Minority Report.
I think DC would make that movie.
But imagine, I
love DC.
But so you should look up Minority Report. Hey, here we go. Everybody out in podcast land, here's your homework. This week, we're going to watch Minority Report, and we're all going to come back, and we're going to talk about it next week. Deal? Okay. Everybody? All right.
I'll make that deal. I'll watch that movie.
I need to write that down or I will forget it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do the thing.
Remind me to watch Minority Report this Saturday evening.
Ooh, Saturday. Yeah, so totally outing myself. Stole a tech deck from Kohl's. Used my brother's as like a smuggling tool to steal a $2 mini skateboard from Kohl's. Honestly, if you're going to arrest me, then you know what? That's on you.
Like, why do you have to steal a child when you can just order from Wayfair?
Yeah, right? Like, I can order the Heather cabinet, and it just shows up with a kid in it. Like,
You get a Heather.
I made that joke at work, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, and someone who didn't know that was like a thing was like, what do you mean I can order a kid off the internet? And I was like, well, first off, like, you can. Dark web.
It also blows my mind that, like, that was a thing. It was talked about incredibly briefly, and then it was
like
just like
national news too.
But then it was just like
Gone.
rug, sweep, and it was gone, and nobody talks about it anymore. And Wayfair is still like, hey, would you like to save on our spring summer clearance multi extravaganza event? 75% off everything.
Yeah, we've got cabinets.
Yeah, we've got all the cabinets child free. Like, there's a little asterisk in the bottom.
Yeah, right.
But
does not contain a
crazy
child.
how that got just swept under the rug like
Yeah.
nothing ever happened.
Hey, give it 2 weeks. We'll all forgot about the aliens. I'll never forget about
Dude,
the
I
aliens.
love the memes where it's like, but we just told you there was aliens. You're like, dog, I'm too tired. I work too much.
Yep, I don't care. I can't afford gas. I can't afford food. Honestly, let the aliens show up and blow this shit up because I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Dog, if the alien overlords pay better, I will work for them.
Oh my God.
I can actually live.
Yep.
You know? So, like, I would have
Well, what
bought
do they pay
Taylor
you
an electric bike as well,
You
and not
did?
just me. No, because I can't afford a second electric bike
Yet.
But if the alien overlords want to pay more, what do you need? What kind of service?
Yeah,
Like,
do you
beam
need like
me
your
up.
spaceship cleaned? Like I'll clean it. Like
Well,
what?
I'm pretty bad at cleaning. I'm being super honest. But
I mean, hey, you know what? I'm bad at cleaning too. That's why Megan handles a lot of the housework.
I can
However,
throw
for the
some
right
Febreze
price, dude, I'll get on my hands and knees.
they're like, hey, $40 an hour. Oh, sign me up.
Give me a toothbrush, some bleach.
Tell me where to scrub.
And I will start scrubbing some tiles.
We can get like a Bluetooth speaker,
Yep.
play some jams, and we're just going to...
No, we don't even have to listen to Earth music. I want to hear some
alien
new
music.
alien music.
Dude, I'll listen to alien music.
Yep.
I don't know what
it's called dubstep. That's a joke. That's a joke.
It's just
I do like me some dubstep.
What if it was just dubstep?
Nah, I'm here for it.
Like
I'm
that,
here
like
for it.
one night Skrillex was like...
Yeah, he just got
I hear it.
he gets possessed, not possessed.
He gets probed. He gets abducted and probed, and then he
yeah.
comes back. It's like, I got all these sounds from my dreams, man, and then he like puts it down. Dubstep.
He's like, "Hey guys,
2010 is wild.
I'm quitting from first to last, and I'm gonna go on to make robot music." And everyone was like, "You're an idiot." And now he's like,
Yeah,
on his way to the bank to cash that check.
that alien check.
That alien money check. What do you think aliens would pay you in?
I mean, dude, the currency from America to Canada to Great Britain and China, they're all wildly different.
It's all made up too.
Yeah, maybe you just get paid in
Space dust?
stardust.
Ooh. What about like some
rocks?
weird space metal, like I don't know, unobtainium or plutonium or something, like some sort of crazy anomium.
This is vibranium.
Yep, yeah.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
I don't know. I bet that'd be something. But if they want to pay better, I'm open. It's like what you have on your LinkedIn profile. Like, I'm open to work. Like,
Actually, just deleted my LinkedIn the other day. Continue.
That's it. I mean,
Willing to work.
Willing to work.
I will clean alien toilets and...
Dude, the aliens throw like an Indeed link up. We're getting new headshots taken. We got this. We're gonna get some new alien jobs.
Man, okay. I like, yes.
We're cleaning the plasma cannons.
Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Dude, you can be careful though, because if you hit it,
blow your face off.
then you don't have a face anymore.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah, I heard that they don't have very good life insurance.
well,
Well, maybe it's alien life insurance. Maybe it's better.
Yeah?
Maybe there's like a longer lifespan. I don't know.
they
if
actually don't charge you an arm and a leg to like have, I don't know, a Band-Aid applied.
What if aliens are like the opposite of the United States? Where it's like, oh yeah, well, we'll take care of you for free. Wait, you have cancer? Dude, just step in this chamber for like 4 minutes. Gone, right?
You might forget who you are, but you no longer have cancer.
Yeah, common cold, gone. So are the last 2 weeks of your memory, but gone, right? Like,
Sign me up.
everything's gone.
Sign me up. I honestly, dude, if aliens turn out to be real, but we've established that they probably are real.
Oh yeah.
When they come into more common mainstream, I am 100% down to leave this earth. I don't mean, short of Megan and like the few friends that I've got, there's really nothing here for me. I'm down to go.
Dude, I mean, with the Spotify for Podcasters app, we can podcast from anywhere.
Speaking of podcasting from space, that's a show on Netflix called
what?
The Midnight Gospel.
Oh.
It's a show about this character who has a space cast, as it's called.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And he travels the universe and interviews otherworldly beings or universe beings, and he uploads it to whatever, I forget what they call the internet space cast thing there, and it's a space podcast. You should check it out. It's pretty cool.
Check that out. I like that.
Midnight Gospel. Chat, here's your homework. Episode 2, well, not assignment number 2 is to watch episode 1 of Midnight Gospel. Let us know what you think.
Our main audience is like 18 to 35. They're out of school and they're like, This guy keeps giving us homework. I'm going to unfollow.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that.
Hey, but it's entertainment. It's not like you have to like write a report. Just watch it. And then just expand your mind.
Well, let's play toward the audience, okay? While you're playing Call of Duty, put it on in the background and just listen to it.
Background noise. Yep. Or turn it on when you go to sleep. Whatever. I mean, I play a lot of rain sounds when I go to sleep on YouTube.
Dude, that's... I remember when I got my first pair of noise-canceling headphones, and I would play rain sounds on the headphones, and then just fall asleep.
I can't sleep with ear pods in. I feel like that gets hella uncomfortable, and I don't want to lose one.
Well, I mean, you just got to try harder.
Well, I don't have ears the size of yours, so...
Like, these are satellites for the aliens, okay? I'm trying to get them to notice me. Because if I keep applying on Indeed for their jobs, it's not going to be enough. They have to notice me from the satellites.
Not the alien Indeed ad.
Dude, I swear to God,
wanted.
Aliens come on Indeed and start posting, like, bullshit jobs like everybody else in America.
I'm in.
Swear to God. Because, like,
I'm in.
You apply on Indeed for 150 jobs, you get 2 replies, and they're like, yeah, what's up? You applied for this job. It's like, sir, I've never applied to work in a nursing home before. Please take me off your list. But if the aliens come in here and start doing the exact same thing, I'm going to be mad.
I want a really cool alien title, like Intergalactic... Proton Plasma Engineer... Sanitation specialist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the one from Family Guy. Intergalactic proton powered something droid or whatever it was.
It's the intergalactic proton powered advertising droid.
It was something like, yeah, I remember the other ones, like the crudely painted, not so funny plywood cutout folk art. And then what was the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man? Yeah. I can't remember the
Come on down to
one.
What is it? Weird
Al Harrington's
whacking, waving, inflatable arm, flailing tube man. We'll repass the savings on to you.
Dude, old school Family Guy was so good.
My favorite episode is still the stem cell one.
Oh, why are we not funding this?
Peter has the stroke from eating like 1,800 cheeseburgers, and then he's like dragging into the stem cell, and he's like, "How long was I in there? I don't know, 5 minutes. Why are we not funding this?"
Dude, it's crazy because like following all these wrestlers that I do now, a lot of them have done stem cells because they have like a lot of like injuries, and they're like, yeah, like one guy was like, "Oh, changed my life."
I bet.
Like, dude's like 50, and he's still just rocking it, right? And one dude was
The
like,
Rock?
No, it was Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
and then
the guy with the mask, right?
Yeah. And then like other people were like, in their 30s, and like, yeah, it didn't do anything for me, but it hit or miss. But like, do you know it's like $5,000 per treatment?
So what is a treatment involved? And why is it $5,000?
I believe from what my very minimal scientific research, it's like a little thing, needle, vein, pump stuff in, and then you're Gucci.
Interesting. So do they take it? Do they take like your blood and like spin it down?
I have no idea.
Separate it? Because the lady at the dentist office, when I was like, "Yeah, I need to get my wisdom tooth out," she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll take some blood and we'll put the stem cells like in like the cavity where like the tooth comes out." She's like, "It'll help like reduce dry socket." And I was like, okay, sure. How much does that cost? Because like sounds expensive. I ended up not having it done, but it's a thing now. Yeah, you're right. It is a thing.
That is a thing. That's something.
How did we get on that topic?
I don't know, man. But we just spent 54 minutes talking about.
Dude, it's been. Oh my god!
We're just flying through these.
It's crazy. They don't even feel like they're that long anymore.
No, it's great though.
So I try to help our algorithm numbers by listening to the episode myself, and I try to watch half of it on one day and half of it on another day on my lunch break to give us the numbers. How do y'all listen to my voice? I can't stand the sound of my own
someone
voice.
said you sound like a helium.
And I'm glad you brought that up. So I have lost track of the amount of times that this has happened to me. And I've said this to you before, and Megan knows what I'm about to say. The amount of times I get confused for a female at the drive-thru is insane.
I don't think I could see how that would happen.
You seriously?
I do not hear it.
Well, obviously you, right? Like you have a very deep voice, right? And in my head, I don't think I have a high pitched voice, but like then I hear the videos and I see our videos, and I hear myself and I go, okay, it kind of makes sense. But then someone says, that dude sounds like he's on helium. So other people clearly think this, but the amount of times I'll go to a drive-thru and I'll be like, yeah, let me get a 2B bacon, no onion. And your total's $7.42. Go ahead and pull around to the first window, ma'am. Like the first couple times it happened to me, I was like, what the fuck? But now it has happened so many times that I do not even like.
It's sir?
Yeah, it's ma'am.
Oh my god.
No, dude, but yeah, for real though, the amount of times that they're like, all right, ma'am, pull around. And I'm like,
dude, I just don't hear it.
well, we've been friends again since 2009.
But you have a lower, like mid-lower range in your voice. Like, I don't see how it could be perceived.
I don't know, man.
As
maybe
higher.
those speakers are trash, or I don't know. Like, and you know that the drive-through speaker boxes, like, they've got a camera. You can see me. I'm clearly not a woman. It's okay if you are a woman. I'm not a woman. And for me to be like, yeah, let me get a 2B Coke, no ice, whatever you order, no onion. And they're like, all right, it's, $7.22. Pull around, ma'am. Motherfucker.
They're like talking to their coworker, like, watch this.
Watch this.
Pull around, ma'am.
Yeah, right. Oh, he didn't get pissed.
He just drove off not angry? Huh. We'll get him next time. We'll get him next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I don't know about Jason, but I appreciate you listening to my potentially low register female voice. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how I convince Megan to marry me. I have a dumb voice, and she has to listen to me talk 24/7.
Great sense of humor.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Speaking of low register voices, I shout out to Lauren from the first time I worked at Best Buy. One of the icebreakers that she got my orientation class to do was for everyone to go around and hit the lowest note that their voice can do. So I'm going to do it, and then you're going to do it, right? So
God.
Ready? So on 3, you're going to, or I'll do it, and then you do it. You hit the lowest note that your body can register.
Like a sound or like a note? Okay,
I'll show you.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. It's like Now you do it. Now do the highest note.
I don't even know if I can.
Just try.
Years of screaming in a band. I can't do it anymore.
Shout out to Lauren. I don't know what she's up to. I'm not friends with her on Facebook, but I'll never forget that, Lauren. Lowest note on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great icebreaker.
That is a good icebreaker.
If you ever find yourself in a predicament where you are leading a group and need to break the ice, have them do highest note or lowest note. It's a good icebreaker.
And if they walk out, they didn't belong there
anyway.
Yep,
they sucked.
Yep.
Are we ready to? Are we going to end this one?
I've got so much work to do right now, so like let's end this boy.
Another hour episode in the books.
I'm so pumped. I'm having a great time doing this, and again, as always, we're going to end it with some appreciation. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast. We hit our milestone that we were trying to hit as far as getting.
I was going to say it if you didn't.
Yeah, we hit our milestone of getting 100 unique listeners within a 60-day period. So thank you, everybody, for checking it out. Yeah, when we started this, what was it, like 9 months ago, a year ago? I don't even know.
It was August of last year.
A year.
Yep.
When we recorded episode 1.
And it really wasn't even, was it a full episode?
I'm trying to think. It might have been like 30,
Did we do our
minutes.
TikToks? Like, we did our weird TikToks for a while.
But we never did an episode.
And then we did the first episode in August. Is that what it was?
Yeah, actually, I can pull up the exact date
on
here.
Spotify.
But yeah, it's crazy that like it's been that long. So first episode was August 27th, 2022.
Yeah, dude, it's just wild that like.
And then March 2nd.
Hey, man. Life got in the way. Hey, we went through Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, surgeries. We had a lot going on.
We had a lot of things Yeah, I mean, August, March, May, June, July.
Yeah, we're killing it now. And it's all thanks to you guys, because if you weren't listening, we wouldn't keep going. So thanks to you, and we appreciate it. We have hopefully some exciting news maybe next week's episode.
Yeah.
We're waiting for their people to get to our people.
We're waiting for and by our people, we mean us. Because we
don't have people.
Again, self-promoted and
Yep.
Sponsored.
Hey, that means that when the check cashes, we ain't got to pay nobody.
Dude, $5 each.
That's free lunch, baby.
Well, not anymore. No.
Well, yeah, I guess you can't even go to Subway and get a $5 footlong no more.
No.
Shysters.
Damn. Guess we'll end this podcast on a sad note. Can't even get a $5 footlong?
Damn.
The aliens would have it for $5.
They wouldn't even charge us.
Yeah, it'd be free. Come to the free intergalactic alien spaceship cafeteria.
And it would be 13 inches or whatever unit of measurement that they use. It would be longer than a
13 Kremlons.
13 shacks.
13. Yeah, they're like, hey, we got this thing over here. It's 13 Shaquille's long. And we're like, oh, they use it.
They use shacks.
I'm like, yeah, we heard it on this podcast. And we're like, oh, that's us.
Dude, I would literally, I don't even know, like my head would explode.
And we're just ambassadors to the human people at that point.
Oh my God,
Love
please,
that.
please. We could change the world.
Change the world.
All right, for real, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, that's it.
We appreciate it. Stay sad, y'all. And tune in next week. You know,
for a great time.
For your regularly scheduled midweek Sad Boys update.
Huh.
I got it. I nailed it that time. Let's go. Bye.
Bye.